Hello everybody, thank you for joining me here today. You're watching Code 3 Media, and I come here to talk to you today because I fear that I have made a very grave mistake. Today I am here talking to you in my Jaguar, but today's video is not about the XFR. Me and my fiance have committed ourselves to buying an ultra rare car that almost nobody cares about and almost nobody knows even exists. The flights are booked, the Airbnb is booked, we've planned all our stops for the drive home, and we are going to be flying to another part of the country to drive 12 hours back home in a car that we have never seen in person before and know almost nothing about. Thank you for joining us on that journey, and we'll meet you guys at the airport to get it started. Our adventure began at the Edmonton International Airport about 45 minutes late for our flight because the airport shuttle ran quite a ways behind. We did indeed make our flight and get all settled on the plane. It was actually pretty sweet. There was Recaro logos on the back of all these seats because, you know, race car things. And with that, we were off and in the air. The flight was only around an hour long, and at the end of that hour, we touched down in Kelowna where we were going to get our eyes on the car we just bought sight unseen for the first time. It was supposed to be in pretty good shape, but we were about to find out. Alright everybody, we're here in the car. It's all picked up and acquired. Got a hottie in the driver's seat. We're on our way. Gonna head over to grab some food. This thing is insanely clean. No rips, no tears, no nothing. It looks like it's been freshly detailed. There's still the little dust cover for the USB. It's so clean in here. Forgot how fun these cars are. This thing's pretty quick for how little and light it is. And I think the driver's side window switch panel is having some kind of issues, and the locks have been kind of just randomly going up and down while the car's running. Doesn't seem to do it when the car is off, which is good, but while the car is running, it seems to engage and disengage them quite a bit. There might even be a setting I can turn off for now so it stops doing that. Back seat, everything's in really good shape. There's no check engine lights or anything. Tire lights on because there's no sensors in the tires. Should have a pretty good time road tripping at home here through the mountains. With the SS picked up, we headed on over to the Cactus Club Cafe for some food, and then we went on over to August Luxury Motorcars to check out what all they had in store. They had so many different cars of all shapes, sorts, and varieties, including a ton of different Ferraris, Lamborghinis, classic cars, luxury cars, and everything in between. They also have one of the largest collections of gated manual Murciélagos in all shapes, forms, and colors, which was absolutely beautiful to check out, along with this absolutely menacing Aventador SV at the front of the showroom. We could not get over how many absolutely breathtaking cars there were on display in the showroom, including some of the Porsches, McLarens such as that 720S, and even this absolutely stunning Ford GT that the camera just does not do justice. The price tag is super high on these cars, but they are worth every penny. We couldn't help but take a second look at the Lamborghini Murciélagos, as these cars have tons of amazing lines, contours, and things to their shape, including the bat wings on the rear and the super low wide stance that they carry. Once we got done aspiration shopping and dreaming of things for the future, we got loaded back up in the SS, got ourselves all collected, and headed down towards Golden, BC to our Airbnb for the night. Just a quick update, about 4 hours deep on the way home. Man, it rained and the visibility was extremely poor the whole way through. It's a lot of semis that use that driving route, and man, does that make it difficult. But the car has done absolutely fantastically so far. Very impressed with how comfortable the ride is on the lowering springs, how well it handles, how happy it's been, doing fantastic on fuel. We are just here now at our Airbnb and gonna go have a good sleep. Continue on in the morning. Good morning, everybody. We're gonna head ourselves down to the Nordic Spa by Kananaskis. Car's still here, even if a little dirty from driving through all that rain and crap last night. So, without further ado, let's hit the road. With a successful night in our Airbnb complete, we hit the road and headed towards the Kananaskis Spa. The road conditions weren't perfect all the way along the journey, but the SS ate that up with no problems, and we still got to enjoy plenty of beautiful scenery and fun mountain roads along the way. For any and all who are curious, if there is a Nordic spa by you, it is definitely worth a visit to go check out. It is one of the best and easiest ways to relax aching bones and get your body back in tip-top shape. With our visit to the spa complete, we hit the road again. Everybody thinks I'm special. She's not disagreeing. We are so lucky to live only a couple hours away from this. This is absolutely nuts. Every time a guy comes to places like this, when we passed it on the way in going to the spa this morning, the water was probably twice as blue as it is right now, and that's still pretty blue. It's absolutely beautiful out here. With this marking our final stop, we hit the road and went the rest of the way home. We have made it home. The car is here and in one piece. It's done fantastic, no issues. After about 12 hours of driving through rain, crappy conditions, and a lot of mountain roads. Good morning, everybody. I'm back. Hit you with a little cold start action. Whilst this thing warms up here, just a little recap. This is a 2009 Chevrolet Cobalt SS Turbo Sedan. This car is extremely rare for what it is. It's one of the rarest cars that no one cares about. Right up there with, I actually had a 2009 HHR SS panel, which I'll show a picture of here. That is also extremely rare. These two specific cars are some of the rarest vehicles to exist. It's actually quite crazy. There's only 216 of the HHR SS panels, and in the mid 400s for the Cobalt SS Turbo Sedans. There's not many of them around, and it's kind of funny, they don't have the same notoriety as the HHR SS panels do, just because it is still kind of just a Cobalt sedan, whereas the HHR SS panel is this weird performance panel van retro styled thing. But that doesn't make these any less rare. If you break it down to color slash what it is, this is a 1 of 40, 1 of 50 car, which is very, very weird and rare considering it's still just a Cobalt, at least to a degree. But that's also why they make such cheap and fantastic entry-level sports cars. It's got the Brembo option, and one of the calipers, like this side caliper, has been replaced, so it doesn't have this factory gunmetal gray finish with the Brembo logo like this side does. So we'll see here. That's one of those things. I've done a couple sets of these calipers before, like this. So we'll probably do something like that with the brakes. As far as modifications to the car, it has got a ZZP catback. It has got a ZZP high flow downpipe. The one with the cat, not without the cat. Basically nothing for interior mods. This is a full load G85 car minus the RPD, unfortunately. But it's got the gray and black suede slash leather slash all fake material, but very nice seats. They're extremely comfortable and very nice. If you've ever been in one of these cars, these are very, very nice seats for the price bracket and what it is. And of course, it's all matching in the back. Interior is completely stock stereo, stock boost gauge, stock everything that way. And it is extremely comfortable and in a very, very good shape. I've never seen one of these cars in this good a shape before, at least as far as the interior goes. It's even got the GMPP option floor mats, which is stupid as it sounds. Those are actually quite rare and hard to find, and to anybody who's a little psychotic in this space, those are sought after. Let's take a little peek under the hood while this thing warms up. Should show you a couple cool things in the trunk too. Okay, little covered in bugs, but not too bad. It's too bad in Alberta we don't need to have a front plate, but in BC where we've got the car, you do. So unfortunately we're stuck with the little holes. The headlights we'll have to do something about because both of them are leaking a bit. But aside from that, the exterior is in really good shape. Under the hood, nothing too crazy. This SS fuse box cover, it's not a sticker. It is like a metal plate that goes on top of the fuse box. Stock intercooler pipes. It's got the GM Stage 1 map sensors, which this is originally a GM Stage 1 car, considering GM originally, if you did the updated kit, would hardwire them in, whereas now if you buy the map sensors as an upgrade, they come with a pigtail, like a harness, because the plug is different on the factory map sensors versus the Stage 1 3-bar map sensors. A con intake that goes down into the fender well. Aside from that, there's not too much. Very conservatively tuned. It's only making about 18-19 pounds. Stock is about 15 pounds. So it's only got a couple pound increase, but it's definitely noticeable in the driver's seat. I mean, it would be pretty easy to tune it for a couple more pounds. Before a guy do that, I'd say you want to upgrade charge pipes, because these plastic ones tend to blow out, crack, break, especially in colder climates. And same thing with the intercoolers, which I'm trying to tell here. Yeah, it is stock. You can see right through, right there, in here, black plastic, not metal. So the stock end tanks on the intercooler on this car are plastic and are also known to crack and break, unfortunately. Those couple things should be done with these cars as a reliability mod, if nothing else. Stock intercooler and the stock intercooler piping. These ones appear to be in good shape, no issues, but they're the kind of thing that just work until they don't, and they'll all of a sudden start giving you boost leaks. That's something that we'll probably end up doing to the car, whether we increase boost or not, but always good to do. Fluid levels have all been good. Doesn't appear to have any leaks. As you can tell by the ride height, it's just lowered on springs. And at the moment, actually, it's mismatched. We take a peek in the trunk here. It was on iBox, and then apparently he had issues with the iBox springs. So he bought a set of ZZP ones, which, funny enough, are known to be much worse than the iBox. iBox were trash in the front, I'm not sure why. So it's got ZZP springs on the front. Those are the new rears. Still got the iBox on the rear. I cannot believe how well this car rides considering it's lowered on springs. It did fantastically the whole 12-hour drive home. If we look in the trunk here, all the other stuff we've got a new valve cover gasket, got all the factory intake components, factory downpipe, and I've never seen this. Came with a full set of OEM GM service manuals. So this is full service manual for Cobalt SS's Turbo Sedans, Coupes, and G5s, because the G5 is basically just the same car. That's very cool. I've never seen a full set of service manuals come with any car I've owned, let alone one of these. So considering its rarity and whatever else, that's actually quite cool. It's got the factory Pioneer sub. I can't believe for a cheap General Motors car from the mid-2000s, it is insane how good the stereo is when you take that thought into account. It doesn't have the same rear bumper lip that the coupe does, and it needs it bad. It looks so round and weird from the back. Just makes it look like mashed potatoes. Like there's no nice sharp line on the back. It just kind of falls off into nothing. But the cool part is if you go and get one of those, you can modify a little bit on the rear bumper to get it to fit, and it looks 10 times better. I don't mind the stock rear spoiler for the SS Sedan. There's a few different versions of the spoilers for these cars that come on them, and obviously that's the one that's on here, and I believe that came with the factory. Tires have tons of life on them and are in great shape. Kind of gets us close to the end of it here. Let's hop in and go for a little drive. Let's go into competitive mode here, go for a quick little lap. thing wanted to touch on a little bit in this video, aside from a little bit of a POV drive, is just talk about, was it worth it? Obviously, we flew across the country, we went all that way to get this specific car, and I think the answer would be for everybody no, but to us it was definitely a yes. The car has done phenomenally, it's done great on fuel. The sedan is so much more spacious and useful than the coupes are. It's a lot more rare. We paid an absolute bargain for the car, considering the market value here in Alberta versus the market value in BC. The guy who was selling it had a very tough time, or was having a very tough time selling the car in BC. Yet here in Alberta, there are coupes which are much less rare, with a lot higher miles and a lot more headache for a lot more money, to be quite frank. So for us, it was a huge price break to go out to BC to pick this car up. It worked out fantastically. It was a bit of a pain in the butt. Flights were cheap. Flights were only about $150 for the two of us. And then the Airbnb was about $100 that we stayed at. The spas covered under my benefits via work. And overall, we made one fantastic trip to go pick up a car that's worth a lot more than we paid for it in a very fun manner over the course of a weekend. It's not something everybody can do. It's buying a car sight unseen is always a dangerous prospect and something to be taken not lightly. But in a lot of cases, it definitely can be worth it. It can definitely be worth it. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you're making it to the end of the video, I really appreciate that. If you have anything you'd like to see, any ideas, comments, questions, anything, please do not be afraid to leave them down below. Please consider tossing a subscribe. I know this is only one of many videos to come, but there is going to be a lot to come. Thank you very much, and I guess have yourselves an absolute wonderful day. We'll catch you in the next one.